Parenting is the process of ensuring a healthy development of a child in every area of their life. Responsible parenting, therefore, is key. It goes beyond detecting a child's needs, a child's desire, and even a child's demand. How can this be done? That is our conversation today. Watch this.
Dandi, amen. Relax. Hadi sijatuma picha bado. Mbona nakwambia ni cheki. Usidandie picha zangu. Simekwambia tu sahi for your information I have a crush by the way. Relax, none of your business. Wasikia di picha ijatokea fiki. Sasa hadi siwezi tuma picha. Alafu hii simu hadi picha yake si clear.
Imeweza mimi sasa nisikia.
Umecheki ya Kevo?
Kevo yupi?
Buda, Kevo.
Yupi?
Simu imeripotiwa from abroad na corona iPhone.
Kevo yupi huyo?
Ule wa huyo sister yake anaitangwa aje? Wairimu. Namjua, mko na history.
Nyamaza. Acha mimi nijione TV hadi.
Cheki, nilikuwa na watch.
Si mimi na watch. Wewe si tuendelee kutumia crush wako message hapa hivi kumwambia mapenzi bahari.
Unachachisha.
Tuma hadi hizo socks wale unakuwa umejaza mama huo.
Leta hiyo. Leta hiyo.
Nini nakuanga shida hiyo?
Mama, hizi.
Shida yenu ni nini? Hebu ngoja Grace. Hebu Johnny, let's remote John.
Si unaochi nini?
Nipatie remote.
Si wewe ni wa news.
Kumba ni yangu bani yako.
Oh, sinaonanga nini?
Yaani nyinyi mmekuja tutakuta ya vurugu kwa nyumba wakati vyombo za saa 10 hamjatoa kwa meza. Nyinyi ni watoto aina gani?
Si ni wewe si ni wako. Na plus mama umesema hii nyumba ni yako.
Kwa hivyo mimi ndio vyombo mimi.
Hey! Huku kwa mkelele.
Ni mama.
Msonga.
Ndio kwa kunyesha.
Cheki msi utanigotea.
Msonga.
Zi, tulia pale. Relax.
Hai, tu mbona ukae hapa?
Hebu niletee maji.
By the dad before maji na date engine mpya. Na si tenje nipe pesa nikajinunulie.
Dada mimi nataka tablet. Simu yangu bwana.
Msi unakuwa
haina.
Ngoja.
itakuwa copycat.
Ngoja. Kama zinafanya kazi, kwanza mzitumie.
Yaani utoke kazi ukuje tuambie tutumie.
Ndio uko kazi.
Kwani uko na
Tutaangalia hiyo maneno.
Ai.
Tutaangalia sana. Tutaangalia hiyo maneno.
Tablet.
Nisaidie na maji.
shida hapo nasemanga tutaangalia inakaa mwezi inakuja miaka inakuja mikaka.
Alafu mambo ende maji.
Hata sijapumzika kidogo. Si mngegojea kwanza nitulie. Nipumzike kiasi. Alafu mniambie dimalizeni. Niletee maji.
Mom!
Niletee chai.
Mom, chai.
Nataka maji na chai.
Na maji.
Poa.
Siko fiti.
John hata unipei nafasi.
Na nilikuwa date engine mpya.
Hadi mimi ndadi nataka tablet.
Msi.
Mimi hapa kadogo.
Shida yako ni kukopi. Dad, si tulikuwa tunaongea na yeye.
Mmoja ni dimari zake.
Wasichana kando. As I was saying.
Ndio umetoka
simu mpya.
Gana ngeta na uko.
Ai.
Sasa kuna nani hapa?
Leo nimewaletea zawadi.
Dad, ndio kunywa chai no. Na
Royo,
the same time. Aje.
Mama John. Kutia leo mio. Tupikie kachai.
Tumekunywa maji.
Nimekunywa maji.
Maji tunakunywa pamoja hapa.
Tunataka chai.
Yes, nimeleta leo.
Nimechoka, nimeshinda nifanya kazi zangu mimi hata.
Okay.
Sasa usikii vile nilikuwa naambia dad. Nataka simu mpya.
Sisi tunataka simu. Mimi nataka tablet.
ukiwabaia simu pia mimi nije kwa hesabu ya TV. Hii TV yangu ni ndogo sana.
Bebe. Kubwa ndio
Na home theater. Hizi zina guruma huku sijui ni kama hazieleweki.
Na ndio nafanya kazi kwa ajili yenu. Kile tutafanya. John, Grace, kesho asubuhi tunapoenda nitakuja naye.
Basi alafu mimi kazuri. Sina mama, hii imeharibika.
Hata yangu niliona imechakaa na unajua nataka pia mimi nikae mrembo.
Sasa mtakaa warembo. Cheki dada.
Lakini nafikiria hii ni kazi ya mama.
Mimi sina kazi.
Si ni wewe daddy ndo
mimi sina kazi.
With me in studio is Ernest Nyingi. Ernest, welcome to Destiny Arrow.
Thank you very much. I'm
Tell
glad
us.
to be here.
Wow, tell us more about yourself.
Okay. My name is Ernest Nyingi. I'm a legacy leadership consultant and also an execution coach, which means I help individuals and organizations to live the purpose that they want and also to help individuals maximize their lives. So they want to live beyond the here and now, making an impact.
Great.
Yes.
Wow, you had that. Now, Ernest, you watched that skit of that family. Does this really happen in real life?
Yes, it does. Yeah, actually it does. The clip resonates with me because of two reasons. One, you can tell people who have gone through specific mentorship and they've been trained, and you can tell someone who's not been trained. Yes, where the investment of the parents towards their children. So basically what the parents are doing will affect the future of their children. Imagine those children who are once small babies, could be told, keep quiet, talk, but now look at them and what they have become.
You know, they are talking, the parents are talking, you don't know who is the father, who is the mother. It is too sad, eh?
It is.
Very sad.
It is a very sad reality.
Very sad reality indeed. So here we're talking about being a responsible parent. In your own words or your view, do you think the parents in that skit are responsible?
Well, actually the easiest way to say, they haven't been responsible. It's not like they are not now. They haven't been. Because for kids to get there, it's been a journey of not parenting effectively.
Yeah.
That's why it's led to that. So even if they were at one point, there's a space where they stop doing or playing their role. That's where the children are there.
Because the parents appear to be very lenient.
Yes.
Extremely lenient.
Yes.
That they could actually talk to the mother and even talk to the father like they were age mates. So that is a very sad situation.
Yes.
So I want us to watch the next clip, the next skit, and then we now put a line between leniency and strictness.
Yes.
Watch this.
Usiambie leo hivyo.
Dandia man, relax. Hadi sijatuma picha bado.
Acha mimi nijionee TV hadi.
Cheki, nilikuwa na watch.
Si mimi na watch. Wewe si tuendelee kutumia crush wako message hapa hivi kumwambia mapenzi bahari.
Unachachisha.
Tuma hadi hizi socks wale vile unakuwa umejaza mama huo.
Leta hiyo remote. Leta remote.
Hey! Ni nini mnaulizana? Unapiga nini kwa nyumba yangu?
Nilipata hapa nilikuwa na remote alafu anachukua na
remote ya TV ya nani?
Ni Grace.
Nipatie remote Johnny.
Peana.
Wewe ndio mwana wao.
Shika.
Shida yako inakuanga nini? Yaani kila saa kubishana nini watu wawili? Hatuona mshakuwa watu wazima? Vyombo zinafanya nini juu ya meza Grace?
Zinafanya.
Wewe nyamaza. Ulikuwa wapi? Grace ndiye alikula huko.
Alikula the bigger share.
Alikula bigger share kitu gani? Mungu kikunyambia nini?
Ni nini kelele kwa nyumba yangu?
Ni John.
Utaishi kwangu mpaka lini? Nimekulea, nilikuzaa, nimekusomesha campus miaka 4, nimekupatia miaka zingine 2 utafute kazi. Ulirudi hapa kufanya nini? Nilikuwa na expect utakaa huko kazini kwenye nilikutafutia attachment Johnny. Unafanya nini kwangu? Utahama lini? Mimi sikufuli nguo tena. Unasikia? Utoke uende utafute kazi. You be responsible. Unamea ndevu unafikiri umekuwa mwanaume, si ndio? Wewe ndevu bila nyasi.
Niseme nini?
Nini wewe?
Nitaongea huku na matendo yangu.
Utakaa mpaka lini? Baba John, umefanya vizuri kukuja. Hawa watoto hata hawana heshima hawa. Kila saa kubishana kwa nyumba, hawana adabu, wanasumbuanga. Tunapigania remote.
Wanataka watandikwe.
You watched that.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Well, so we were, at one point we were on this extreme, now on the other one we are on the other extreme, where those children don't seem to have a life, say nothing. And the parents seems like they understand only one language, ship in or ship out. They don't care about the rest, it's not about your opinion. And so now there's a bit of an extreme to it, because then, how do these children form their own lives? If they're just living with rules and just, it's like a military camp.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you saw when the mother now goes to the father and reports, he doesn't even first listen to the children, it is war.
Yes. And it's sad because then, remember this son will one day become a father. So guess what? It will be cultured that the only way we understand being listened to is as long as you're a child, you have no opinion. And even when they are mature, they can be able to give their thoughts and where they're coming from and to be trained. That opportunity is also lost.
Okay, Ernest. So now the big question is,
yes,
where do we draw the line between leniency and strictness?
Okay, I think for me the first thing we need to first demystify is what is true parenting. Because if we're going to talk about helping children figure out how to follow parents, because this conversation is two sides. There's a parent side and the children side.
Yes.
So for the parent side, have I, just because I have been strict and I spank at every, or maybe I beat my child or punish them because they made a mistake, am I an effective parent? And is hitting and beating the only way out?
Yeah.
That's one side of the conversation. And then is letting it go and not being involved about what they say or what they do and just allow them to flow. I mean, like the first one, the father wants to sit and the son says, no, this seat is taken.
Imagine.
So go to
your own house?
in your own house that you're paying rent,
Oh my.
And so you see there's a polarity about this conversation where leniency on one side and over strictness on this side. But the perfect balance, I think most parents struggle to fit in the right balance. Either because one of the parents is very strict, or the other is very lenient, or they haven't agreed how to. So for me the first question is, what does right parenting look like? And what is informing that? Is it biblical parenting or just normal? Whatever you learn from your parents, you either overdo it, or you say, I had a very bad experience in parenting, so I prefer to do something totally different.
Yeah, I totally agree. And we're now looking at, actually you are bringing in some of the principles
Yes.
that we can actually say these are the principles
Yes.
of being a responsible parent.
Yes.
And one thing that you have brought in
Yes.
is about learning, children learning from their parents.
Yes.
Now, from this kit, we find that I think the way they react, the sitting on the sofas, the push and pull when the father comes in, and they cannot even give him a seat. These are young adults. That means it is started very long time ago,
Yes.
where the mother is responsible for kitchen work, preparing the tea, bringing the water for the father. So to them, bringing in the concept again of them, because now they are grown up. Now they are being told, fanya hii, fanya ile. They feel, no, it is the responsible of the mother.
Yes.
So we are saying that, what we are saying is that children are like sponges.
Yes.
They actually pick everything that happens.
Yes.
And now they are all grown up, they are
Yes.
young adults.
Yes.
Now bringing in the issue again of now bringing in discipline at their age,
Yes.
I think will be very difficult.
Yes. Yeah, and actually, and even to, I think the best way for parents, because we know we are parents who are listening and they are thinking, how do I not end up on both? Two things. Number one is to be able to define, how do I make sure that my child, I am parenting them rightly. So being able to say, the principles I'm going to use in my parenting are these ones. Okay?
Yes.
And you have to say, is it biblical parenting? Because again, remember, if children are a gift from the Lord, then God should have a say in how they are brought up.
Yes.
So how many parents are picking the information of, I actually need to learn what the Bible says about parenting and be able to implement when the children are very young?
Yes.
Because you see some of these things, I mean, they actually say by the time a child turns 10, they actually they are done learning. Whatever they're going to implement is what is an outflow of everything that was trained. Okay?
Yes.
Which then means these parents, like the first ones, they totally missed it on teaching responsibility early.
Very early.
Yes.
And now they want to bring in discipline
Yes.
when they are already young adults.
Yes, and that is a difficult. I've done teenage ministry the last 17 years. It is difficult to teach. In fact, we can actually say now they are so mature, for you to teach something else, it is going to take God. Yes. And wonder parents will fight their children or disagree because they were already taught how to do a certain way, how to live a certain way, how to do certain things. So there's nothing new introducing. So if you bring new things, you must really do a very good job in explaining why you're bringing new concepts that you didn't bring up before.
So on that principle, look at that camera
Yes.
and tell that parent
Yes.
who has that very young child
Yes.
what they should do
Yes.
right from the beginning.
All right. So as a parent, if you are at that space where you have a child and all children and they are young, they are below 5, 3 things that are very important. Number one, you must establish what I call a vision. What do you want your children to become? When they are teenagers, when they are 30 years, what do you want them to become? And then work backwards and begin to now say, because of the vision that I have for them, these are the things that they must become. Because sometimes you have parents who say, I'm just going to do whatever I do. And which means you must be intentional in teaching. Not only a clarity of vision that you want, values. These are the values that my child must live by. For example, I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. And I have what I call values. We call them cases. And this is the benchmark where we spank them or reward them, those things. And we have the 5 things. One is, character. If you behave, you must behave in a certain way. Character is like a need. Number 2, attitude. If I ask you to do something, it must be done in a certain way.
Yeah.
In fact, we usually say you must do it quickly, completely, and cheerfully. Number 3 is what I call spirituality. I introduce God early in life. Because someday I hope that they're going to be mature Christians who will pray, who will have a relationship with God. I must introduce it. So there's a day for devotion. We must pray before we eat. We must pray before we sleep. Spirituality is an important component. Then excellence. You just don't want, one of those children was like, it's my life, leave me alone. So there's no element of you do things well when you're asked to do. And then also now we introduce something that's called servanthood. The son literally refuses to even respect the father. He cannot serve the father. If you have an issue, you call mom. Mom is the one who does it. So they are not taught. Now see, if there's no introduction of values, basically a parent will actually understand. And then thirdly and lastly, being able to remember that someday this child will actually become a parent. What would you want them to push to the next generation? Because the very things you're teaching or not teaching will happen. So I usually say parenting happens. Question is, who is parenting? So TV will parent, an auntie will parent, your child will be parented. Who will parent them? If a parent can be able to sort the issue of clarity of vision, what do I want in the future? Number two, a value system. And to remember, in the future, this child will become a mature person.
Yeah.
Are you, when you see your grandchildren behaving like your child is behaving, will you be happy? If not, then change. Yes, I think that would be what I'd say about that one.
Wow.
Yes.
That is great.
Yes.
Thank you, Ernest, for that. And I believe most parents will change.
Yes.
Do you know, I went to a hotel and I was seated with a friend, and I think she was showing me something on her phone, a video, and then she was explaining something.
Yes.
Do you imagine the son just came and looked at me, said, "That is mom's phone. Can you bring it?" And he literally snatched it out of my hands.
Yes.
It was so embarrassing.
Yes.
So, and you know what? Okay, I expected the mother to really like spank him or say something like, "Don't do that." You know what he said? "No, Kababa."
Interesting.
Oh my. Don't do that again. You know, like, and you know, he's behaving like that because he's the only child I have. And the child is there listening. Just imagine. It was so unfortunate. I felt like I'll do some parenting lessons after that.
Interesting.
It was very sad. So,
and maybe to, in that case, maybe to just make a mention, you see, I think most parents don't think about the impact of their behavior towards their children.
True.
Because in most of these cases, you find like in the first case, the first kid, where the conversation is, who is the parent? It's actually like the children are the ones who are parenting the parent. Which means if parents don't make a decision, clarity of saying, look, if I'm the parent, I decide the rules. And I'm going to train, help my children learn. So it's not the over strictness where they don't have an opinion, but you begin to show them, this is how you do it, and this is how you don't work, this is what you don't do. In that case, you cannot be disrespectful to a visitor.
Because I thought,
Yes.
when the mother came in and found that the utensils were lying on the table,
Yes,
and she asks why the utensils are still there,
yes,
she would have ensured that actually they have been removed.
yes.
Not just saying, no, you know, after the, you know, no, that was very unfortunate.
Yes.
I hope that will change if that still goes on in your family. Okay. The other issue is now the second skit, where we had harsh discipline. The mother, the father, even going to an extent of caning, and also now even telling the young man to leave the house.
Yes.
Because literally,
Yes.
he has matured.
Yes. Yes.
So, Ernest, at what age should they leave the house?
Well, maybe 2 points to touch. One is the problem that over strict parents, what they forget is this, is that someday your child will have their freedom.
Yeah.
And everything you are trying to be harsh on, they will do now. They actually say, if you don't teach them, and for me this is where the problem is, if they are not taught the behavior that they need to have, and they are punished or rebuked or corrected based on the good behavior. You see, once somebody becomes a teenager, they pretty much have a life. And this one was actually out of college. So the question is a child prepared to live by themselves?
As we wind up, Ernest, we truly appreciate you for being in the show and the great conversation on responsible parenting. So give us your parting shot.
All right. So parents, if you want to become a responsible parent, I want to leave with 5 simple things that you can do. Number 1, you need to disciple your children. You need to teach them the space of God, because that's where they get values. Number 2, you need to mentor them. And mentoring means that you're training them on how to live life. practically. Number 3, you need to teach them responsibility in terms of being good stewards. How are they managing their time? How are they managing their talent? How are they managing their treasure? Because they will have those things. Fourthly, you need to teach them that they are going to become influencers. They are leaders in the future. And what does that mean? How do you make sure that they are influencing where they are, from the home to the community, when they go to school? And lastly, you need to teach them relationships. Because they are going to they're going to have a social life. So if you don't teach and embark, if you can, these 5 things on a biblical principle. So, disciple, mentor them, help them to become good stewards, teach them about influence, and then also how to do relationships. If you begin there, you'll actually be setting up for a better future, and you will have become a responsible parent.
Great. For any feedback, get in touch with us via the contact on the screen. Until next time, keep watching Destiny Arrows. I've been your host, Anne Mombi.